More now, Melissa, on Florida, as Casey reported that record number of cases reported in that state today, nearly 9,000. The Florida Agriculture and Consumer Services Commissioner, Nikki back on the show with us, the only statewide elected Democrat a couple years ago in that state. And you've been, as I said, on before with us. You've been critical of the Republican Governor, Ron DeSantis. Is he getting it right now in, closing down the bars and that type of thing, or would you like to see him go further? What's your take on what's happening in Florida?
We obviously, as you just reported, seeing tremendous spikes throughout our entire state. And so certainly we need to be doing more. Certainly applaud the fact that we are closing down the bars, but unfortunately it might be a little bit too little too late. And I think part of the problem has been enforcement, that we have all of these regulations and piecemeal throughout the state, whether it's South Florida or the rest of the state on phase 1 versus phase 2. And then even when these establishments open, whether it's at capacity, gym, there was no enforcement aspect. And so without having enforcement in there, people just kind of felt that this thing was behind us, and it was mission accomplished here in the state of Florida. And that just wasn't the case. So people let down their guard, let down their sense of security, and went out to the restaurants, went out to the bars, went out to all these local establishments. And so, of course, we've seen a tremendous spike throughout the entire state. I've also yesterday called on a statewide mask ordinance. Certainly we know that masks don't stop the spread, but it slows it down, and we all need to do our part if we're going to get through this.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways to look at this as you try to balance it out, whether it's in the agriculture industry or other industries, and avoid kind of a widespread shutdown economically of the state. So we know the consequences of that, and I know people are trying to avoid that. But at this point, Florida, I don't believe meets any of the federal guidelines for reopening, so people could look at that and make the case. However, what I think is interesting about these numbers, and I'd be curious of how you'd respond to it, is the demographics have shifted, right? So with all of these positive tests, and there are far more of them now than there were, younger people are testing positive at a greater rate. I think the average age back in March when there were fewer cases was 65. Now it's like 35. So does that affect the thinking in terms of how we can manage our way through this and maybe avoid an economic shutdown because people are younger?
I think there's a balancing act. Every one of the individuals who have tested positive have parents and grandparents. And so we also have to take that into mind, is that it's even if we get everybody who is 40 or under sick, the fact is that they've got family members that are going to be in the more vulnerable populations. And the more vulnerable populations have taken those extra precautions, whether it's wearing masks, whether it's staying home, not visiting establishments that may be violating some of the capacity issues. So, and of course, here in the state of Florida, our number one economic driver is tourism. And so we have to balance that where we want to reopen, we want people to come back to the state of Florida, but they're not going to do that if they feel that we haven't gotten this under control. So even if we have a younger population that might be experiencing the positive test, if we want people of all ages to come back to the state, we have to show that we have a controlled, measured approach of how we're dealing with this. I mean, I've been speaking to a lot of our small and medium and large businesses, CEOs and executives, and my heart breaks for them, but we've got to be able to be in this together and have a measured approach on how we are reopening our state, not reopening too fast in certain sectors until we have the data point to back up our policies.
All right, the Florida Agriculture and Consumer Services Commissioner, that's Nikki with us. Thanks for coming on again, and we'll keep following Florida very, very closely. Melissa, back over to you.